What is up, everyone? It's your boy Vlad coming with a quick review video. So, for the month of February, had the biggest month. Finished it off with 27,000. But mainly for the month of February, I'm going to be discussing my Friday's trade. There's a number here from February 1st to February 27th, which is today, and there's no March 1st would be a new month. So 27,000. But the biggest lesson that I think comes from Friday. I only had for the month of February, I only had 3 red days. And I talked about one of the red days already in a prior video. But this one, I still end up finishing green on the week. But with this particular trade on TSNDP, I lost $4,800 on it, which could have been really avoidable. On here, it says that traded with 24,000 shares, which wasn't the case. I was just over trading it over and over again. So I'm just gonna go over it. My mindset during the time of the trade. So soon as the market opened, I had this big green candle on TSNPD. So that automatically, you know, raised my eyebrows. I was like, okay, this could be a good spiker. So I waited on this second candle to form where to see like if it's going to continue to go higher or is it going to go lower. So once we had this started uptrending, I tried to slam in 6,000 shares at 401 at the time because I saw the ask was just getting chipped away at 399. So I went above the asking price to 401 and I didn't get filled. So I didn't get filled. The next thing you know, I see this thing running. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. Got all the way to $5.15. I'm like, yo, I can't believe I just missed this huge opportunity. Because with 6,000 shares, I probably would have gotten out maybe right around here somewhere, which still would have been a great trade. 40 cents on 6,000 shares. That's like what? That's help me with my math. Like 1,800, something like that. Yeah, about $1,800. So I'm already kicking myself on this trade, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe I missed this. So I'm like, okay, I didn't truly miss it because this could give a good first bounce opportunity. And this is like one of the criteria that I like looking for first bounce is just nothing but green candles followed by red candles. And as soon as it have its first green candle, to go ahead and buy it. So this was a telltale sign because once I saw this green candle, the bid and the ask, the spread was a little too far apart. But I figured since it had this, all these red candles, that this was going to actually be the first, the first bounce. So I waited till this candle finished forming. Then immediately, like after this finished forming, I got in at like 440. 440 with 6,000 shares. First mistake is I'm going in too big of a size because because my risk level is 20 cents lower. I mean, yeah, ideally it could go back if it works. It can go back to you know at least test the highs. But I and not only that too. 540 was the ask. The bid was around like 528. So the spread was pretty big. And I was gambling with the fact, thinking like, okay, that's gonna go ahead and tighten up once people start seeing this is the bounce. So this started going against me. So I'm figuring, okay, this is the first bounce. Sometime it do like to do the wick, but no, it just kept having a sell off. So I'm over here chasing just to get out because I have 6,000 shares. And mind you, I'm in at the top here at 440. So I'm chasing. My orders are not getting filled. So eventually I'm getting filled like in the low 414, 415s. So automatically I'm down like 2 grand on this. So I'm like, yo, this sucks. I'm like, okay, that was a fake bounce. So let me go ahead and try to get in again. Like next green candle, I'm gonna get in. So I got in right around, I want to say like 412 ish, 412. Got the second green candle, so I'm like, yo, I'm good. And I started seeing my P&L, my unrealized, starting to go up. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a good. I'm gonna make all that back, so don't even worry about it. And next thing you know, I see this red candle, so I'm like, okay, I'm still good because I still have low of day here. Well, from the bounce low that I'm gonna risk off of, and more likely is gonna make a higher low. Nope. Instead, it went lower. So I end up cutting like.
At the time,
Go ahead.
my fault.
Nope.
At the time when it was going down, like on the second little bounce, was the spread also like wonky?
Nah, the spread was actually it was better. So that's why I figured like, okay, this is gonna be a good. Now this is the bounce because it did a first green candle, then it had a second one. And I'm in on this right here with the good average. So I'm assuming that we're gonna have this is gonna walk all the way up to at least come close here. But then once it did this and it slammed below here, I'm over here chasing. Like I'm the one who's filling these like wicks right here because I have size. So I'm like, I need to leave this stock alone. So what I did briefly, because I think I end up losing like 1,500 on, about 1,500 on this as well. So I'm like, okay, let me just take this off of my because this is not working out. So I left it alone briefly. Then I started seeing that it had this here. It had this. After it did this bounce, it came back here. And it popped, it wicked out right here. So I started buying here because I saw this increase in volume. So I'm like, okay, this is the bottom. The bottom has been set. So I got in right here. And of course, I end up getting out right here because causing that wick again, thinking this is going to continue to go down. So at that point, I was defeated. I end up, at this time, I'm down 4,800 on this stock. And it just messed up my whole mindset because, like, looking at it, I know now it's hindsight, but just looking at it, now, had I just, after, and this is the new rule that I'm gonna put in place for myself is after I miss the first bounce, like if it don't happen, like if I lose money on the first bounce, I need to see a higher low. A higher low to be able to re-enter the stock. Because if there's no higher low, then, now I'm just gambling. But looking at this hindsight, it dropped, had to bounce drop. Like, then it started inching up. Like, here's the higher low right here. This is like confirmation right here. I could have, instead of wasting the bullets over here and wasting it over here again, it would have been the same amount that I actually would have been risking less because this is a missed opportunity. This is not missed opportunity. This is a messed up opportunity. But had I just got in like right around here and risked the same low, I would have been risking a little less than these combined losses. because I'm in somewhere over here risking this. It never even comes back, and it just grinds up the rest of the day, and it even gotten to the high. I probably would have gotten out like maybe around here, since I'm not really that patient, but that's 30 cents off of 6,000 shares. I mean, that's, essentially that's a good return. So from losing that, that should have been it for me on the day, because at the time I think I was only down. I was down close to 5,000. Then I just started just in a self destruct way. Started trying to trade this liquid. Even though Bitcoin was down, I'm over here shorting. I'm buying, shorting, buying. So like losing $600 here, losing $600 there. So all of that ended up just adding up. So it was just like very, very self destructive for me on Friday. One thing that I did implement, because anytime that I take losses like this, or I feel like there's a lesson, my number one thing going forward in the future, coming to Monday, is having a remedy for that. Because if you're not progressing as a trader, then you're not really going nowhere. You're gonna stay stagnant. Your gains typically are gonna stay the same. So what I implemented for myself is a $1,500 max loss. That I actually is taken, because I used to do it mentally. If I'm down 1,000, then I'm done for the day. But Friday I couldn't do that, even though in my mind I was saying like, "Yo, you're done." After the first loss, you're like, "Yeah, you're done for the day." But now I took that out of my hand. Now it's in my broker's hand. So contacted my broker, let them know, hey, if I'm down 1,500 on the day, they're gonna automatically shut down my account and I can't trade to the next day. So yeah, so I think that's the biggest lesson for the month of February. It just like, when you miss out on a play, the FOMO, the greed, like that action, that does something to you. Because I literally, like, and I always tell Rocky this, like, sometimes I really feel like these stocks, they owe me money, like, because I felt like there's no way that none of my shares got there's no way why none of my shares didn't get filled, because for a while it was just like 3.99 and 3.99, and they were just chipping away. Then I just went for the best above the ask, and I didn't get filled. So that's what I got for you guys as far as for the biggest lesson for February. FOMO and over trading. Like, definitely get that in check. So I'm gonna pass it over to Rocky.
What's up, traders? Can you see my screen?
It's loading right now.
Okay.
All right.
What's up, traders? It's Rocky back at y'all again for a monthly recap for me on this February. February was actually a new best month for me. Finished the month with 24K. Really blessed just, to be able to do that. Even though I'm still not, I know it may sound crazy, I'm still not kind of satisfied, because I know there's so much more that I could have done this month to get better and, you really start attacking. But as far as like P&L wise, very, very consistent throughout the month. These first 2 days, like, I really, even though they was red, like, like there was E-Trade issues and like computer issues, so it was completely out of my hands. But pretty much for the rest of the month, it evened out. So um, really, I only had 3 green days, and everything was controlled. The no red day was over $1,000, which is something that I really value, which is going back to my system and just completely having good risk management. Uh, for the month, if you look at my TradingView stats, for the month, you can see that I averaged about $554 a trade, losing 253 trade, and only took 73 trades this month. Another cool thing that's showing me that I'm really progressing is that my profit factor was 6.6, and I believe I talked about in some of our previous videos that if your profit factor has to be above 2 to be profitable. 3, 4, 5 is good and like average. When you get 6 and above, that's where like you start getting elite. And to see that I had that profit factor this month, it just kind of speaks volumes to me, and just like it's a testament to the amount of work that I'm putting in and the system in which I'm trading. But really cool month. Also, with that 6.68 profit factor, a 75% win rate. So you see that was added up really quickly, and it was mainly just because I was focusing on me, not letting anyone get into my head, not comparing myself to any other traders, just focusing on myself, focusing on my growth, and just how can I get better every single day. As far as important trades of the month, I really can't even say I had any important trades of the month, because I feel like to me, the green trades are exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, they just fit my thesis, and I didn't have any big losses this month besides MMNFF, which I talked about previously. And I feel like if you were in the land of OTCs, I feel like every trader kind of had losses on MNFF because it caught you by surprise. But for me, just a really solid month. Overall, profit-wise, I'm at 45K, which is cool, because just from when I started to now, it's just the amount of growth and the amount of knowledge that I have. It's crazy, because this is it will forever. But really, just going into next month, I'm working in on just trying to size up when the opportunities present itself, and keep trying to push my limits. When I'm talking about sizing, I'll start off with taking like 4K position, 4K, 3K, 2K position size, starting off really small. But now I'm feeling way more comfortable taking those bigger position sizes, where it may be like 14K or 20K or 18K, and still implementing the same system. And for me personally, I don't look at my P&L when I'm in a trade, because I'm trying to completely trade and focus on the ticker at hand, so I can maximize the most out of the setup, and trying to get maybe out. For me personally, I may get a set amount of percentage out of the trade, because I track the trade from the statistical standpoint. But Other than that, just a really solid month. Uh, Trying to get better every single day. Things I'm looking into next month is what I said, sizing up. I'm also going to be dabbling into some options trading to add that in my bag. If you've been into OTCs lately, you see that the market is kind of slowing down with the OTC stocks, and which it comes in phases because I feel like for the last 3 months, or at least, yeah, for the last 3 months, the OTCs have been really, really hot.
Right.
And, it's eventually going to slow down. Like, that's just natural. But when it slows down, like, who's going to adapt? And I feel like that's the most important thing right now. Yeah, it's cool. We made our new best months right now, but at any given point in trading, it could be taken away.
Right.
And that's something I always think about. Like, yeah, you up right now, but how can you continuously sustain that?
Right.
How can you always have a direction where you can be up or always have an edge in the market? And right now, yeah, the month was cool, but I'm only good at OTC stocks, and that's not sitting well with me right now. But uh, overall, still a good month. Nothing to be really upset about, but you know, that's it. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, definitely, guys. I know today was a very short one, but the lessons throughout the weeks that we've been doing, we have a whole bunch of different gems that's in those, and even from the loss that I took on Friday, like that thing really did something to me. Like I was low key mad. Like, and I know people like, well, you still made 27,000, and all this and that. Like the
And you
money
messed
in
up on your
itself,
process.
yeah, the money is like once you really start progressing as a trader, you get mad at yourself due to breaking process. You know, like had I lost 7,000 based upon a planned loss, like hey, I had my risks here and the trade didn't work out and everything just equaled out to 7,000, I could have lived with that. The fact that there was no real, plan behind it, so that's the reason why, like, okay, I'm focusing more on the loss aspect. Um, Definitely by all means grateful for the 27,000, but at the end of the day, I still want to progress. I still want to get better. So,
No, for sure. Should do. But and like we're gonna continuously getting better, and like these videos, they help out. Like I know they help me out.
yeah,
Just getting out like what I have to say in my mind, and everything that goes through. The problems that you do come through in trading. And yeah, you did have that big loss, but every big loss is just makes you stronger. So
yeah. Because last March, that's when I had my biggest loss. It was like 8,500. Um, and from there, it helped me, grow as a trader. So now, 11 months later, had my biggest losing day. I mean, granted, it wasn't one trade like March, but just the accumulation of trades. I think that's gonna help me get better as well. So, but that's all we have for today, guys. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, and certainly get back with you.